going to start a new series for the Jmeter, and in this series we are going to cover everything from the scratch, okay, and from the basics to the advanced level we'll be covering it up. So these are the tutorials, like basically I am planning to create a video for each of this topic, okay, and we'll be going through each of this from the beginning, okay. So as you can see here, like we're starting from introduction to JMeter, then like JMeter installation, we'll be going through the interfaces and the different elements in JMeter. Then we'll be going with the thread groups, okay, all type of thread groups we'll be seeing. And then we'll be seeing the samplers as well, which are very commonly used. So we'll be seeing the different listeners as well, so which are very important: assertions, config elements, timers, right, and controllers. Then handling authentication, then recording the script, correlations, and then performance testing basics. So there are many things to be covered here. So by end of this tutorial, so you'll be very hands-on experience on using this JMeter, and you'll be able to uh, move into the project basically, so you can able to test your application, okay. So I'll make sure you that you'll be like ready to start your performance testing career, okay. So do like and subscribe to my channel for going through all of this tutorials, okay. So basically if you miss any of these topics, so like because all the topics are interconnected, so you will be like have to go through each and every topic. So every week I'll be posting a topic, okay. So for like I'll be starting with the introduction to JMeter, and every week we'll be going through each topic, okay. So every week I'll be adding a video, okay, so for each new topic. So you have to go through each of this topic to understand the JMeter very well, okay. So for today, like I'll be starting with the introduction to JMeter. We'll be seeing the introduction to JMeter, like basically what is Apache JMeter, why use JMeter, and like types of testing JMeter supports, like the load test and all. So but what is Apache JMeter? So basically Apache JMeter is an open sourced tool, okay. So it's from the Apache Software Foundations, okay, and it's 100% pure Java application, okay. So it's a open source tool. So we have other tools also for doing a performance testing, like you might have heard about load runner, right, neo load, and there are many other tools as well, but Apache JMeter is open source tool, and that's the reason it is very widely used, okay, among the industry, and among like I think around 80% of the organization uses the Apache JMeter, okay. So for doing the performance and load testing, okay. So it's basically a Java based application, okay, and easy to use application for performing all types of load requirements. Well, so why you want to use the JMeter? Okay, so that's a very good, okay, so topic, okay. So basically, like if you want to understand how your application is performing, right? So suppose you want to understand what is the application performance when your application has 1,000 users using simultaneously. What is the response of your application? What is the throughput, okay, so of your application, and each page load, how much time it is taking. So to understand all this, right, so you will be having to do the load testing, and for doing a load testing you will be using this JMeter tool, okay. So there are, like for example here, if you look into, for example, this is a client and a server, okay. So client is nothing but your browser or a JMeter. So from JMeter, if you are triggering any request, so to the server, so here JMeter will work as a client. So this will be your client machine, okay, and here there will be a server machine, okay, where you will be sending the request. So from your client machine you will be sending a request, and you want to understand how much time, okay, so your server is taking to process the request and return you back the response. Okay, so basically the time between the request process and then to reach you the response. So to understand this you will be using a Jmeter. So here the Jmeter will work as a client. If you're not using a Jmeter, so in normal situation you'll be using a browser, right, to make any request. For example, you want to make a search, so you'll be using a google.com, so it will from your browser. So your browser will be act as a client, and then it will go to the Google server, and then it will return you the response. So we'll be moving in the depth in the upcoming tutorials. Okay, so we'll be understanding what is response time, throughput, okay, so then latency. So there are many other attributes, so we'll be going through each and everything. Basically we'll be using a Jmeter to do the load testing. Not only the load testing, there are different types of uh, testing we can perform it with the Jmeter. So basically from the Jmeter you will be able to do the load testing. Okay, so load testing is basically you want to check, okay, so with the expected load, what is the performance of your application. All right, for example, I want to see if 50 users, or sorry, 1000 concurrent users are using my application, what is my application response time. Okay, in that case, so you will be doing a load testing. So with expected load, so this is the expected load 1000, right? So there are other testing, stress testing. So here, like not in normal case you are checking your application with 1000, but there are a couple of times where the 1000 concurrent user may exceed, right? So in that case you want to see what is the performance. Okay, so when the stress on the application is more, for example, instead of 1000 there is a 1500 users concurrent on the system, then at that time how your system is behaving. So we'll be like seeing all this in our upcoming tutorials and all. So endurance testings, okay, so endurance testing, you want to see if your application, okay, so here like 1500 users or 1000 users are continuously using, okay, the application, okay, for a longer duration, for example 1 hour, 2 hour and all, okay, so or for throughout the day. So in that case, what is your application performance, whether there is any bottlenecks and all. To understand that, you will be doing a endurance testing. And performance testing is basically you will be like understanding what is the response time, what is your throughput. Okay, so when you are performing a load or stress testing, okay, so you will be monitoring the performance of the application. Okay, so and the next will be your spike testing. Spike testing is nothing but like sudden increase in the number of users. For example, 1000 users you are testing, and then in between there is a sudden increase in the number of users. Okay, so at that time, like what will be how your application is behaving if there is a sudden increase or decrease in the number of users load. Okay, so when you are hitting, okay, so to a server, so what is like basically when normal in normal condition 1000 users will be there on the system, and then suddenly there will be a spike happens wherein like 2000 users automatically comes into the system. Okay, so that time how your application is behaving. So to understand that, you'll be doing a spike testing. So there are different tools available in the Jmeter to do this stress spike testing. So we'll be covering all this, okay, in our upcoming tutorials, like how to perform endurance testing, how to perform a load testing, okay, how to perform a stress testing, then how to check the performance of an application, how to do the spike testing. Then we'll be doing a API performance testing. So here with the Jmeter you can do API performance testing as well. Okay, so along with the UI performance testing. So we'll be in upcoming tutorials, we'll be seeing all this, how you're doing a API performance testing and how you are doing a EY based load testing. Then apart from that, you can use the database performance testing also. You can perform the testing of your database. So that also will be covering as a part of this tutorial. So hope you like this video. So this is just an introduction. Okay, so I'll be uh, going through each and every topic in the details. Okay, and I'll be covering all the types of testing. At the end, I'll make sure you that you will be able to work on your project. Okay, and you can start doing a load testing and all this types of testing. So once again, so you like and subscribe to my channel, okay, to see the next video, which will be the continuation part of this video. Okay, so thank you so much. So have a good day. Bye bye, see you.